Hi there, yep, it's NickDutch, the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day if I'm very lucky, NickDutch yet again. Just a quick chat today on Divination again. Alright, obviously I've done a video yonks ago which talks about certain aspects of practical divination from your point of view. The reason I'm wearing this hat is the sort of hat I tend to wear when I'm going to the various entertainment events where I act as the star performer and I'm doing readings as in parties, in all kinds of events. One of the most notable ones was a university ball we had recently here in England, and there I was. But now I'm going to talk about you and what the various reasons that you might actually want to approach a diviner to try and get some real clarity. I mean, yeah, there are some people who just want to treat me like some kind of circus freak and would start the call or start the session by saying, okay, so tell me something about me. I don't like that, because it's not there to provide any real benefit to the client, alright? There's many different types of divination sessions. There's no such thing as one particular method or one particular fixed format for any divination call or any tarot reading. It's not like that whatsoever. Admittedly, I do get people criticizing me saying, when it's scientifically proven that you can read tarot, well, hang on a minute, you gotta think about what do you mean by reading and what do you mean by using like divination tools. And some people criticize me by saying, well, when it's proven that you can contact spirit, I've already mentioned in a previous video blog that you can't actually say that this, that, and the other is coming from spirit, because that's... I would say that in my marketing material, because that is the way that you market yourself, alright, within this industry. Some of the insight I get does seem to come from sources outside of myself, so I might as well say that from the point of view of providing a definition, that might as well have come from spirit rather than from anywhere else, because I don't know. So it's a bloody great thing which I could call X, alright? So okay, so the insights come from X. That would look crap on my flyers, right? That would look crap on my promotional material. So I say it comes from spirit because we don't know what spirit is either, so it might as well say it's coming from that. Alright, there's other kinds of criticism against me to say, prove that you're psychic. Well, what does the word psychic actually mean? If you look it up, one of the many definitions is psychic just means of the mind. So I am the person who does readings of the mind. It doesn't mean to say I am telepathic. It means that there's some strange things happen and I understand people and I understand people's minds. So yes, being a diviner is, the way I do it, much more like an entertainment service plus counselling, and I think that's a very good way of seeing a proper professional tarot reading. And when other inspiration comes through, that just adds to it, and I can really end up going on a roll and coming out with some wonderful stuff, and I do get stuff right, and that scares me rigid, because of course I'm just like everyone else out there. I'm brought up in the, with that straightforward Newtonian model of the world. I studied electronics when I was a child. I thought about natural science and the physical science and things that I can see and taste and touch and all the rest of it, and of course I ended up seeing and sensing other things later on in life when I got more heavily into the occult. But if you were to go and have a tarot reading today, let's say, it'd be worthwhile thinking about what kind of questions you want to ask, what kind of areas of life you want to have a look into. We always ask for your first name and your date of birth. Well, that's a legal requirement. Yes, unless you're calling me through an agency that's already said on the website or on the phone number, this is for entertainment purposes only, I would have to point out that this service is for entertainment purposes only, because that's a legal requirement. And that's an appropriate thing to say as well, because you're not supposed to live your life from reading to reading. It's not good, it's not psychologically healthy. Alright, so once you've got your questions and you've decided which particular diviner you want to call, you take the frame of mind that, okay, if I get some benefit from this, that's good, that's groovy, that's wonderful. Alright, if I don't, it's for entertainment, it's for me to take a moment and bounce a few ideas around inside my head, or indeed use the diviner as someone who I can have a discussion with, and yes, use the reading as part of it, so we can see what the reading says, see what the diviner's picking up, and try and put that in some cohesive understanding. When I personally am doing some types of readings, it's more like a discussion with the extra insight from the tarot itself, alright? because that provides a bit of a structure. I would say what I see, or the kind of story that the reading is telling me with reference to the background situation, and then we'll try and get some real clarity going forward and backward. Alright? Don't give me a call and say, just tell me what I had for breakfast today, because you know that already, so why are you spending money to have someone else tell you what you already know? Right? A lot of the questions are about relationships, because relationships are a very difficult thing to understand. It doesn't mean to say that anyone phones me for a relationship inquiry is actually doing the wrong thing. You're actually doing the right thing, because you're choosing to actually discuss it with someone who you're probably never going to meet ever again. You're never going to see me in the high street or the main street. You're never going to think, oh my god, what happens if I bump into NickDutch ever again? Because basically you won't. Unless you want to call me, or, invite me to be in one of your party events you're having, or you want to get on the phone or get on the internet chat or buy an email reading or whatever it is, because I'm here for that, and it's just a question of just getting that level of clarity that you need. When people talk about getting clarity or getting insight is not me turning around to you saying, he does love you really, you're going to be fine. That's not insight, that's a point of view. Insight is what you get when you're actually taking a situation of, I don't know, let's say he's not calling. Okay, well, what happened before he wasn't calling? Alright, well, you tell me what that situation is, I then do a reading, we look at the reading, we discuss the situation, and then we mirror it back to yourself. You may think, hang on a minute, that's just counselling. Well, counselling and divination, there is an overlap there. Alright, but it is still divination, because it's the way that you get another point of view that you would probably not be able to get otherwise unless you were discussing it with someone like me. Yes, I am still trying to be rational. I'm still trying to take this same objective stance, but I still get, I get sounds or meanings coming through to me, which some people say is called clairaudience. And I get flashes of stuff in front of my eyes, and I relate that back, and that often has a meaning to the client, which then doesn't have a meaning to me. I mean, one guy says, I want you to contact my dead uncle. I just said, okay. So he gives me his dead uncle's name, and roughly when he died, and all of a sudden, bam, I get this image of this car. I tell him, the client, the type of car it was, the colour it was, the type of driveway it was on, some details about the house. This is just what I saw, and I had no control over that. It just happened. And then, boom, that was the car that, the dead guy had, when he was alive, of course. And that was what the house looked like, and so on and so forth. So, these weird occurrences happen within the reading session. It's just the way it is, alright? I don't fully understand it. We can't fully understand it. If I was a religious person, like if I was a Wiccan, if I was like in Christian spiritualism, then there'll be a whole load of things written down as to this is why it's happening, this is what the angels are saying, this is what the spirits are saying, and all the rest of it. But that's just religious literature, alright? That's just religious beliefs. And I can't have that. It doesn't work with me. It really doesn't. So this is the way I do divination. It's very, very practical, very down to earth. It's there to give you the closest thing to the honest truth that I feel that you can get using a method such as this. And yeah, it is to a certain degree miraculous, because this is coming to you in a way which is not what would normally happen. You don't get insight like the way I'm describing it if you were talking to a normal counsellor who would just sit there and just mirror back what you're saying to them and let you come to your own conclusions. This is an actual discussion, but it's a discussion you can't have with your friends because they've got their own problems. You can't have with your family because they got their own problems. And so you have to have it with someone else. So I'm providing a service which counsellors don't provide, your family can't provide, your friends can't provide, your colleagues at work definitely can't provide. And that's why people would come to me. So you can hopefully see that this is a useful service, and a service which is useful and usable, especially within the 21st century, for people like you. Alright, so this is the real benefits of a tarot session. Catch you later. Give me a call. Go to, if you've seen this video on YouTube, go to my YouTube page, alright, through clicking on my member name, which is on the top, I believe it's to the right of the video, which would mean that way, I think. and then just click on the link. Click on my name, and then you'll see that there's my website on the left hand side, and just go to the website and give me a call. Speak to you soon.